Guess what the number one emotion people tell me they feel when they're in a mixed faith marriage? It's lonely. So I want to talk a little bit about lonely. Lonely is a feeling, it's an emotion. We feel it in our bodies. So when you have an emotion that's present, you can do a couple of things with it. You can ignore it, you can resist it, you can react to it, or you can process it. So of course, I always recommend to my clients, I'm Brooke Booth, I'm a coach for life. I'm a life coach for Mormons in a mixed faith marriage, and I always recommend to my clients that they process the emotion. And that looks like really allowing it to be your reality for the time being, allowing lonely, feel it, not rush it, and not judge it. When we're able to really accept and allow the emotion of lonely, then we can decide what we want to do about it. That's the next step. After you really process and allow it, then I want you to start asking yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself here that's causing me to feel this way? Is the story something like, they don't understand me, I can't be who I am, I can't teach the kids the things I want to teach them, and I'm not supported by my spouse? If those are the story you're telling yourself, then you're going to feel lonely. Those thoughts create the feeling of loneliness. So what are the thoughts causing you to feel lonely? When you think those thoughts and you feel lonely, next question to ask yourself is, how am I able to show up when I'm feeling this? Like, how do I show up? How do I communicate in my marriage? How do I interact with my spouse when I'm feeling lonely? So for instance, me, I isolate, I withdraw, I avoid, I distract. Like, I do all of these things that don't actually help me solve for my loneliness, that don't help me show up in my marriage in ways to counterbalance the loneliness. I compound my loneliness with my actions. So then I really want you to consider, can you tell a different story? Is there something else that's true here that you can tell yourself about your mixed faith marriage? It's not going to create feelings of loneliness. Maybe thoughts like, they sometimes understand me. A lot of times I can be myself. I'm learning how to teach my kids in this mixed faith marriage. My spouse is supporting me in these particular ways, and it's okay, they can't support me in every way I'd like. These start to feel a little bit different. Do you feel the difference? When I tell myself these thoughts, I feel a little bit of optimism, understanding, empowerment, calm, not lonely. When I feel these emotions, now I'm acting a little bit different in my marriage. I'm showing up as opposed to withdrawing so much. I'm reaching out as opposed to hiding away. So let me review the process here. If you experience loneliness a lot in your mixed faith marriage, consider trying this. 1, process. Allow the emotion to be there. 2, take a look at what's the story you're telling yourself. Can you tell a better story? Can you reframe that in some way so it's still true but helps you feel differently so you can show up differently? Even if it's just a tiny little improvement, that's still improvement. Okay, wishing you the best in your mixed faith marriage.